Named after a cops and robbers film from the 60s and painted any colour you like so long as it's green, the Bullitt Mustang is, on the surface at least, a proper old school kind of a sports car. Not least because it's powered by a 5-litre V8 that produces 458 bhp and which can fire it to 62 miles an hour in just 4.6 seconds. But strip away the hype, and is the Bullitt actually just a Mustang with a fancy name and a paint job? Or is it a little bit more than that overall? We drove it on the Isle of Man recently to find out. On paper it's a bit of a funny one, the Bullitt Mustang, and the cynic in you tends to think, is this just a bit of a marketing exercise in order to be able to wangle another, well, close to 10 grand out of a V8 Mustang buyer? Because a bit of green paint, slightly bigger wheels, a bit of chrome here and there, and a few more horsepower doesn't really sound like that much. But in reality, the Bullitt just feels so much fruitier and funkier than the regular V8 Mustang, which in itself is a perfectly good car. But it's what they've done to the engine and the exhaust system in the Bullitt that has taken it to an absolutely another level compared with any other V8 Mustang. Allow me to demonstrate exactly why, and it is all to do with the sound. That is a proper V8 noise. And because they've allowed the engine to breathe that much better with this new airbox, it goes an awful lot better at the top end as well. You really need to get it above 4,500, 5,000 revs before it really starts to go. But when you do get it up into that band, my goodness me, the Bullitt properly flies. Steering it's really pretty good actually. There is genuinely some feel through the rim. The brakes are also bang on it. Possibly, if anything, maybe just a little bit too sharp underfoot. But I kind of like that because once you've driven it for a mile or two, you could just stand on the brakes and this thing really stops properly, even though it weighs rather a lot. The gear change itself, it's great. I mean, it's a bit old school, it's a bit kind of meaty, but it does it for you so nicely on the downshifts because it's got this auto blip in it. On upshifts, you need to pause and just let the cogs get in sync with the engine a bit before you upshift. You can't bang it through like you can in, say, a manual 911. But there's something really fundamentally nice about the gear change. And in fact, there is something really fundamentally good about the Bullitt, full stop. I mean, I'm driving it across the mountain road here in the Isle of Man, where there are no speed limits. And it's just one of those cars that makes you grin. It's a proper old school V8 front engined rear drive sports car, and I really rather love it actually. The chassis is pretty tasty as well. I mean, there is some movement when you lean on it as hard as I'm leaning on it now. As you can see, I'm kind of moving around up and down in the seat a bit, but the movement is controlled and it is quite nicely damped. It's very easy to get carried away in this car, and there's only one reason why. It's because it's a proper good sports car. Is it worth £50,000? Do you know what? I think it is. I mean, it looks great. Everywhere you go in it, people stop you and they want to know what it is. They want to know how much poke it's got. They want to know how fast it is. It turns heads, this car. And the great thing is that once you get into this seat and start driving it, it does not disappoint. It's a cracker, I think.
Click on the video windows to watch a first drive of the new BMW Z4 prototype or of the Aston Martin Vantage. Click on the play icon to watch our latest video or on our logo to subscribe.